Hey YouTube, this is Isaiah here again with Zay's Thoughts, and this is my review of Transformers 3 Dark of the Moon. And I'll start this review by saying this was a really good movie. I, like the rest of you, enjoy Transformers, and I went to see this film at the very first showing that it had here in my city, which is Aurora, Colorado. And I was impressed. It was a good movie. I did not see it in 3D. I'm completely against 3D. I think it's just a waste of your money. But it was still a good movie in 2D, even though I've heard great things about the 3D showings as well. And just speaking to my male audience for a second, who I know went to see this film for two main reasons. One being huge explosions and giant transformers, which there's no shortage of that. I'll get to that later in the review. And second is beautiful women, which the Transformers movies always have. And Miss Rosie Huntington Whiteley does not fall short of this at all. She's, of course, she's beautiful, and that's her role in this movie. You're not gonna get any Academy Award winning acting performance from her, but that was not her job. Her job was to come in and be a cute girl to play alongside Shia LaBeouf, and she does that great. I mean, even throughout the action scenes, they keep her clean, looking nice, which at first I complained about, but the more I thought about it, I understood why they did it. They tried the dirty look with Megan Fox, who was booted from this movie, of course, and it didn't work out that well. You know, people didn't really like that, but I like Rosie wearing white. It was nice. It was a change of pace, I guess. And she plays this sophisticated role. She's kind of a smart girl working for this empire where they live, and she's rich, or her family is, and she takes in Shyla, and he kind of just lives off of her. I don't know if you've heard the term sugar daddy, but she's definitely his sugar mama, if you can bear with me there. He lives off of her, and she sets him up with these job interviews because he's at the lowest of the low. And while we're talking about him, Shia LaBeouf plays the nerd who really wants to be cool. He saved the world twice, and the world just completely forgot about him, and he's kind of at the lowest of the low. No one cares about him, and he's trying to rise back to the top. And and things just get worse when you find out that he was dumped by Megan Fox, which for the rest of us that would be the worst day of our lives. But for him, he loses Megan Fox and finds a supermodel, a Victoria's Secret supermodel at that. So once you feel bad for the guy, that immediately stops because you look at his girl. And once you get past all of that, Shia was trying to become the guy that he was in Transformers 1 and Transformers 2. But you would think he'd be the most important character, but in my opinion, he was not. The most important character was probably Optimus Prime, which might be shocking to some, but he had either the same amount or more important lines in this movie than even Shia LaBeouf, who this is supposed to be centered around him. Optimus represents the smart part of mankind. There's a war going on between the Decepticons and the humans, and the Decepticons and Autobots, and the humans and the humans. They get down and all that, and it's just really interesting. And his new role was welcomed. It kind of puts a new spin on the Transformers series that I think definitely needed to be done since we're at the third movie. He kind of represents you in the theater when you're watching this movie. He says the things that you would want to say, and he does the things that you would most likely do when mankind is being so foolish and allowing all this to go on, and they're really not doing too much to stop it. Just like in previous films, of course, the humans, they say we don't like the Transformers and we want them gone, which is the same from the previous two movies. That whole premise is getting a little stale. You would think mankind would have figured that they need these guys to help them because they're fighting a battle with a superior race. And if you've seen the movie, an M16 is no match for a 2-ton machine. And I don't know if it's Michael Bay trying to say that humanity makes the same mistakes over and over again, which is kind of what I'm getting out of it, but that might just be my opinion. But I don't want to spoil the movie too much. I mean, the first hour 15 minutes, something like that, it's a lot of setting up the story. So if you're watching this movie in 3D, you're gonna find it pointless, but just stay in there, because the last hour or hour and a half is completely action packed. You're gonna be on the edge of your seat, not wanting to even go to the bathroom, get a snack, whatever. You're not gonna be able to take your eyes off the screen, because it's just an action packed movie from start to finish. Once it changes over, it seems like this is actually two movies that were put together. The beginning of the movie is almost like a prequel to the ending of the movie, which makes a lot of sense. And you won't complain. The movie's 2 hours and 37 minutes, which is a long time, but you won't notice once you get to that latter part of the movie, because it's just a great showing of CGI and just all kinds of special effects, explosion. You can really tell they spared no expense on this movie. So my final rating for this is gonna be an 8 out of 10. There's a couple flaws with it, and you'll know those flaws when you see it. But it's a Transformers movie. It's a good time, summer blockbuster. If you need something to do, definitely go see this movie. I recommend it to anyone watching. And yeah, I mean, that's all. It's just a fun time. I think you guys will like it. So this is Isaiah with Zay's Thoughts, and thank you for watching, and as always, God bless and have a good day.